offseason is a few days, weeks away, and I wanted to put every single NBA team into an offseason importance tier list. So basically, we're going to just be talking about each team's upcoming offseason goals. Is there a lot of pressure on them? Can they just stay the course and run it back? So today, that is going to be this edition of the Just Ballin' podcast, which I'm excited to get into. And I am recording this ahead of Game 5 between the Pacers and the Knicks. So hopefully when you guys are seeing this, which I think is going to be on Saturday, the Knicks forced to Game 6, but there's also a chance that didn't happen. And we already have the finals matchup between the OKC Thunder, who blew out the Minnesota Timberwolves in game number 5. And we are witnessing one of the greatest defenses of all time. So here's basically all the tiers we got. We have don't mess it up, it's now or never, could go either way, stay the course, and not much is needed. So pretty much they're all kind of self-explanatory. Not much is needed is like most of your guys are under contract going into next year's season. Don't tinker with your roster too much. You can kind of run it back in the way. Stay the course also implies to some of the rebuilding teams as well. Just kind of do what you're doing. Don't make any like huge aggression or I guess huge like moves in terms of aggressiveness this offseason. You can be somewhat conservative because maybe you're not going to be contending in the next 2 years. You got to see with what you got internally. Could go either way. This offseason could set up the next 5 years. It could bring you back the next 5 years. It's going to be pivotal in that way. It's now or never. Basically, like this is the offseason where you have to make a major move or we're going to have some big questions down the line. This could have been like the Phoenix Suns of last year or something like that. And then don't mess it up is like you have some big decisions to make this offseason and it can really set you back. So you kind of have like the most pressure on you basically this offseason. So it's kind of like least pressure to most pressure. So yeah, we can go into this. We'll start off with the Houston Rockets. I think it makes sense to put them in could go either way. Honestly, I would be okay putting them in stay the course. Like even if they don't make a massive trade this offseason for Giannis Antetokounmpo or Kevin Durant, they're going to be just fine going forward with what they got internally, man. Like you're going to have probably Fred VanVleet. He hasn't picked up the team option. I think that's supposed to happen very soon. If the team is going to pick it up or rework an extension. You have Dylan Brooks under contract for the next 2 years. Jalen Green's on that extension. Şengün's on the extension. You got Reed Shepherd for the next 3 years, basically, in team control for 2 of them. Jabari Smith Jr. has just 1 year left. He's kind of a big wild card in this. Same with Tari Eason. But you don't have to go after Giannis. You really don't. You were a 2 seed this year without Giannis and without Kevin Durant. Maybe they could go either way. I think they're a team that maybe at the end of this, if I don't have a lot and stay the course, they could be a team and stay the course. But I think for them, it could go either way. They can get Giannis, and I could see why they're getting Giannis, because they think they have this window right now with Amen Thompson under a rookie contract, and they can afford all of this under the first or second apron. But I also could see them just being patient. You have the 10th overall pick in this year's draft as well. You have appealing first-round picks from the Nets and the Suns later on, so you really don't have to go and make a major move. It's not now or never for them. Milwaukee, I think it's don't mess it up, basically. I think they have a lot of pressure this offseason, especially if Giannis is willing, or not willing, but after the meeting, he wants to get traded. Because do you now kind of respect Giannis's trade teams that he wants to go to? So he wants to go to like the Nets, the Knicks, the Warriors, big market teams, but he leaves out some of the Texas teams, right? Or he wants to go to Miami, and you don't love any of the type of packages those teams are offering because the Spurs, the Rockets, and some of these other teams can offer up more for Giannis. So do you kind of just give Giannis the respect and make right to what he's done since 2013? Or do you say, no, we got to do what's best for our franchise? You want to get traded. You have 2 years left on your deal. We could trade you wherever we want. So if Giannis requests a trade, you cannot mess this up, or this could set your franchise back for a long, long time. And if he doesn't want to get traded, don't make any short-sighted moves. Don't trade for Bradley Beal and give up Damian Lillard. Don't do anything dumb. Don't trade away any more future first-round picks. I think if Giannis is willing to stay, he has to know that 2026 most likely isn't going to be a championship year. Now, maybe some things go their way. Maybe they hit on some veteran free agents or 2, and they get like a nice playoff seeding, and they can win a playoff series. Heck, maybe even 2. That's how wide open the East is next year. But Giannis has to kind of realize if he's staying, 2027 is when you hope can build another great roster around this team, and that would be when he can be a free agent at the end of the year. Memphis, I think it's now or never for this team, or at least for this core. I think that's also what these teams could be in here. It's not like for this team's future. I think this is going to be a pivotal offseason. Are we fully bought in on Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., and John Morant? Some things I've been hearing, Desmond Bane could get traded this offseason, and like there's a high probability that is going to happen. And I don't think they're going to move Jaren Jackson Jr. I believe he's not eligible for the Supermax anymore because he didn't make an All-NBA team. So that is going to save them a little bit of money. And then John Morant is a big question mark as well. the team offers you pretty like what John Morant you think is worth, I think you think about trading him and building assets and getting this team more deep going forward, because the Jaren Jackson Jr. extension is going to be north of $40 million. That's what Bane is making. And it's kind of crazy that Bane got, like, Jaren Jackson Jr.'s agent did not get him what he was probably worth off that contract extension. I know it was 2 years earlier than Bane's, so the NBA, like, CBA was different, but still, it's crazy that they're, like, double the amount of money apart, because, like, scheduled for next year, it is the last year of Jaren Jackson Jr.'s contract, so you want to get this done this offseason. It's not double. It's Bane's making 36, Jaren Jackson Jr. is making 23. Difference between 23% of the team's cap and 15% of the team's cap. So I do think it's now or never for the Grizzlies. As the Western Conference, hey, people are catching up to you. You had one of the brightest futures in the league in 2021, 2022, 2023. Last 2 years, it's not felt that way. Dallas, oh man, I think I want them to stay the course. You just got blessed. Got the life rack. You got the number 1 overall pick. You have Cooper Flag on a bargain of a contract for the next 4 years under this rookie deal. He'll be a restricted free agent after that, and he's going to be worth the rookie extension. You have so much depth on this team. Man, I don't know if I'm saying, like, stay the course, because I think there is trades to be made. Do you really need a PJ Washington now if you're going to give Cooper Flag 30 minutes a night? Do you need Daniel Gafford with the pending free agency looming when he could be a free agent next year? And you have Derek Lively, who you want to continue to get more minutes to. So I don't know if I want to put for Dallas, don't mess it up, because, hey, you get 80% of Kyrie Irving back to what he originally was. You can actually make some noise in the playoffs next year. So I think for the Mavericks, it could go either way. I think that's fine with me. I'm not saying that they're going to go out and get somebody like Giannis or KD. That's more so the Rockets. No, I think it's stay the course. I think it is make a trade or two, but continue to build this team around AD and Cooper Flag. And I would move PJ Washington and or Daniel Gafford. Philadelphia 76ers. It could go either way this offseason. Are we fully bought into the Embiid, Paul George era still, or are we kind of giving up on that? Are you going to select Ace Bailey at number 3 and go for the high upside pick there, or are you going to try to take more of a connecting piece and a complementary piece to Paul George, Maxey, and Embiid? Or are we just going to just kind of go all in on this team and trade down and get a role player and say this is the window we can win with Embiid? I think you can go either way this offseason. And honestly, if they make aggressive moves, but they don't trade number 3, and hey, they don't do well next year and Embiid gets hurt or Paul George gets hurt, they're going to be okay going forward with Edwards, Maxey, McCain, and presumably Ace Bailey. So I think for Philadelphia, it's not now or never, because you have your plan B. You have the next timeline, which is going to be without Joel Embiid. I would even think about trading Embiid, but you're not getting equal value for him because of the injuries. And it's tough to trade your franchise guy, and he's been there since 2014. Washington, stay the course. Stay the course of the rebuild. No need to be aggressive this offseason. I think you can look to test the Jordan Poole trade market for sure. I think you can test the Corey Kispert trade market. And if there's a high demand for his shooting on his contract, I would trade him 100%. I would continue to just get more minutes. You're going to have 2 first-round picks. Get more minutes to the young guys, the rookies from last year, and Bilal Coulibaly. I'd like for them to add a veteran point guard, but I think that's really it this offseason. So I think you're just staying the course of the rebuild. Denver, it might be now or never for this team. It might be. I think they're going to be okay going forward because you have Nikola Jokic, you have the best player in the world, but are you going to go and be more aggressive with this team? We know the Cronkies don't like to go into the luxury tax. This team is continuing to get more expensive. Bobby Marks of ESPN said that the Christian Brown rookie extension could be around $30 million, like the RJ Barrett Tower Hero type extensions for the shooting guard in Christian Brown. So are you open to the idea of trading for Kevin Durant? Do you trade Michael Porter Jr.? Do you trade Jamal Murray? Do you trade Christian Brown this offseason? I think there's actually, I'm going to put them in don't mess it up. Yeah, you can run this team back, and hey, if you get a little bit more health on your side, you could still make it to the conference finals. Maybe you avoid the Thunder in the bracket next year, or the Spurs, or whoever's like a really scary team in the playoffs. I think it's don't mess it up. And it's funny that the don't mess it up teams between the Nuggets and the Bucks, both of them won a title in 21 and 23, and both of them had 2-time and for Denver 3-time MVPs on their team. And you can make an argument the best and second best players in the world. For the Indiana Pacers, like I said, I'm recording this before they're officially in the NBA Finals. Odds are on their favor. They're not going to blow a 3-1 lead. I want to say not much is needed, but I think for them, like, there is going to be some noticeable changes this offseason just because ownership has not paid the luxury tax, at least since 2012, to my knowledge. Miles Turner is a free agent. He's been on a bargain of a contract for most of his career. He's making 14% of your cap. That's probably going to go to like mid-20s next year. I assume he's going to get north of $30 million a year because some team will give him that for his rim protection ability, still in his prime. And he can get at least $100 million throughout 3 years. Some team will give him that, given what Hardenstein got last year, who was far less proven than what Miles Turner is right now. Obi Toppin's contract is going up. You have Aaron Nesmith on a bargain. TJ McConnell's contract goes up. He could potentially be moved if they're trying to save around $10 million. Benedict Mathurin has 1 year left on his deal. Do they try to get out a year early than a year late, and they can't really get anything for him? And some team offers him $25 million a year, and they can't match it at $30 million. And Jarris Walker, same thing. He has 2 more years of team control under his belt. Do they try to just save grace from this being a top 10 pick and realize, okay, he's not going to blossom here. We are getting too expensive. We were never going to be able to pay him anyway. But I think Mathurin is actually more likely to get moved than Walker. I would say it's probably McConnell 1, Mathurin 2. I mean, Obi might be 1 just because they can easily save $14 million. So I do think the Pacers are going to look slightly different next year for more so money reasons. But I think they're going to just stay the course. Keep 95% of your team's core. Don't be a little bit cheap, right? Just go into the luxury tax a little bit. Think about all the playoff revenue you got this year and last year. I would like for them not to be cheap. The Clippers, I mean, there's not much you can do, so it's kind of now or never. Kawhi ain't getting any younger. Isn't getting any younger. Harden's not getting any younger. Zubats is about to be a little bit more expensive for this team. You hit on the idea of not bringing back Paul George. Derrick Jones Jr. is under a nice contract. Do you bring back Ben Simmons? Do you trade Norman Powell while his value may be at an all-time high? I would think about it. So I think it is now or never for this team. For the LA Clippers in their core that is aging right now, and teams are coming. The Rockets may get extremely better this offseason. The Spurs are coming. The Mavericks are getting better. So yeah, I would try to figure out something to try to win in this window because Harden and Kawhi do not have many years left in this league together. Minnesota. This I think could go either way. I would not be surprised if majority of these guys are back next year. I assume they're going to lose one of Nas, Randall, and Naw. I thought this whole time it could be Naw, but maybe it's going to be Julius Randle. There could be a Kevin Durant trade, and I would sign off on that, especially if you don't have to give up Jaden McDaniels. If you have to give up Jaden McDaniels, I'd be a little bit hesitant in doing so. But can you get Randle on a sign and trade and send him somewhere else for Kevin, or send him to Phoenix with DiVincenzo, Mike Conley, and 2 firsts for Kevin Durant or something like that? Or maybe you have to include Terrence Shannon or Rob Dillingham. I think he could go either way, but like they're not really that much, like they don't have to be too aggressive. Like your window hasn't really closed. Now, like I said, this team has major free agents. Gobert is making a lot of money, and he's 32 years old. Conley, we're towards the end of his career, but you have Ant, and I think this is the contract you want to win with Ant. He's getting very expensive, but hey, that next contract's gonna even be more expensive. So I think this is the window you could try to win with Ant. It's crazy, like the difference 2 years makes. Like, so Ant's gonna eventually be making $55 million on the last year of the rookie extension. Like Shea's extension is done next year. Oh my God, $38 million. It's got $40 million in 2027. Shea's on such a nice contract right now. And honestly, we could talk about the Thunder, who are in the NBA Finals. This is one of the greatest teams of the century, in my opinion, or at least one of the best defenses we've seen. This team is insanely deep. They could just put you in hell on the defensive end of the floor. They have the MVP and one of the best players in the league that can just get to his spots every single night. Maybe every 15th game, he's going to have a bad one. But Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has shown up in the playoffs. Chet and J-Dub in this core is phenomenal. Now, like I said, for Indiana, OKC's owner does not like to pay the luxury tax, and they haven't done so yet. This team's about to get a lot more expensive with Chet and J-Dub, like their contracts. So like Chet is making $13 million next year. He's going to be making like $40 million. So that is going to more than triple. J-Dub's contract is $6 million. That's going to go up to like $35-40 million. So that's going to go up, what, 7-fold basically next year. Shai's contract is going to basically double in 5 years from now. And yeah, like Hardenstein isn't going to probably be here after 26. Maybe not Lou Dort. Maybe next year is when they have to trade Caruso. I think like maybe they'll dump Ousmane Dieng and or Kenrich Williams this offseason, but not much is needed. You have 2 first-round picks. They may try to consolidate those, just get 1 draft pick to save a little bit of money there, maybe trade them for future draft capital so they don't have to pay somebody $7 million or it'd probably be like $4.5 million this year. And yeah, so Charlotte, oh boy. I'm just saying stay the course. Just don't do anything stupid this offseason. I don't think I would trade Miles Bridges. I would look at the Mark Williams trade market, but honestly, if there's nothing there that it's worth trading him, just bring him back. he was still productive in the second half last year, and you hope the back injury isn't anything serious. Unless you're really getting a haul for LaMelo Ball, I'm not trading him this offseason. I don't think you're going to get equal enough to make it worth trading him because he is your franchise star, at least right now. I would take VJ Edgecombe if he's on the board there, pick number 4. I would see, like I said, trade Miles Bridges, maybe see if anybody wants Josh Green. I would see if you can get, like, I don't know, like, say the Raptors want to move off of RJ Barrett this offseason. Why not you bring in RJ Barrett? If you need to help orchestrate a 3-team deal, take on, like, John Collins, not John Collins money, but like a CJ McCollum contract. I would hate Kyle Kuzma in Charlotte, but like one of those deals, right? If you need to help facilitate a 3-team deal, maybe you have to take on Duncan Robinson's contract or bring back Terry Rozier and waive him, but you can get a first-round pick, do something like that, continue to the rebuild. Maybe you're a playing tournament team next year. If Miller, Grant Williams, LaMelo Ball, and everybody's fully healthy, Salon can take a little bit of a step, and VJ Edgecombe is for real. But yeah, for the Knicks, I don't think it's now or never, because if you look at the Knicks team, like everybody's still under contract. Bridges is a free agent after next year, but everybody's in their prime. Nobody's 30 years old yet. Like, we will eventually get there with Josh Hart and Karl-Anthony Towns. A lot of mileage on them this year. Like I said, I'm recording this before Game 5, so if they get embarrassed in Game 5 at home, I think Tibbs is going to be on his way out. I think you've got to bring in a new offensive-minded head coach. I would call up the Cavs, see if they would allow you to interview Johnny Bryant, former Knicks assistant, good relationship with the players, and you can have a different offensive philosophy. The Knicks basically need to add depth this offseason. They're going to have a $6 million. They're going to have basically $6 million in cap space. Hey, Gary Trent Jr., Malik Beasley, Tyus Jones, those guys went for $6 million or the minimums last offseason. You can get a contributing player for that. I would maybe think about trading Mitchell Robinson because I doubt that they're going to be able to re-sign him in a year from now. I wouldn't trade the core. I know some Knicks fans want to be aggressive with that. But I think I'd still want to give this core at least one more of a shot. Look how good the Miles McBride contract is. $4.3 million, $3.9 million in 2027. I mean, Josh Hart's still like making 12% of the team's cap space. I want Josh Hart to be such an effective player. 28 minutes a night, not 36. And the Knicks need to add depth and trust guys and better, like more upgrades than like Campaign, DeLon Wright. And either give Hook Porty, McCullough, Kolek, and Dadier shots next year or bring in guys that you're comfortable playing. I just can't see the team, like if they keep Tibbs, then maybe they're going to actually make a thing roster-wise. I think it can go either way. Honestly, I just think, I don't think it's now or never. Maybe they're in a don't mess it up tier. But no, I don't think I think that's like the utmost panic this offseason. So I'm going to say could go either way for the Knicks. Detroit, stay the course. Pretty easy there. Bring back Malik Beasley. I would look to just, honestly, you have a little bit of cap space. You can help orchestrate a deal as well. I don't think you need to go out and trade the farm for Kevin Durant this offseason. You were just the 6th seed, and the East is going to be better next year. It's not going to be as easy to get the 6th seed, but this is a good team. Cade can even elevate himself into a new tier. You're going to get Jaden Ivey back. I think Ron Holland and Asar Thompson are going to take steps next year. Jalen Duren really came alive in the second half this year. Maybe just upgrade the Marcus Sasser spots, the Simone Fontecchio spots. Bring back Dennis Schroeder if you can. Maybe you can see if there's a strong Isaiah Stewart trade market, but I think this team just needs to stay the course. Same with Portland. You have a great core right now of young talent. Maybe, and I would hope you're going to hit on the 11th overall pick in this year's draft. Maybe you end up with a Nathan Newell, Carter Bryant, or Rasheed Fleming, somebody like that. Trade DeAndre Ayton and his expiring if you can. Trade Jeremy Grant if you can, but probably not. It's got 3 years left on it. I don't know if you can help. See, like that's like maybe something like Charlotte would help orchestrate something like that. Trade Matisse Thybulle, Robert Williams if you can. And let's bring in just guys that fit this timeline. And I'm just really excited about Portland Trailblazers basketball. And I hope next year is like the full Scoot Henderson breakout. Golden State, I feel like it's now or never sounds more, I don't know. It's now or never sounds more kind of like extreme than don't mess it up. I don't know if I want to swap those two, but I feel like for the Warriors, it's don't mess it up as well. Maybe I am going to swap these because it's now or never sounds more intense. So I'm just going to do that. And then don't mess it up. Yeah, like the Grizzlies, the Clippers, they're going to be a don't mess it up. Maybe I'm going to throw the Knicks in there too. Minnesota, I think don't mess it up as well. I think the Rockets and Sixers have like a secondary timeline. And Minnesota has Anthony Edwards and Memphis, but like ownership may be more pressuring them. I think Golden State, there's going to be a lot of pressure on them this offseason because Curry isn't getting any younger. Same with Jimmy, who his contract is about to go up next year. Right? Draymond's still under a massive deal. Jonathan Kuminga is a restricted free agent. Is there going to be any type of sign and trade market for him this offseason? Can you trust Moses Moody? Pojam's going to take steps next year. You need to add a center this offseason. Yeah, Jimmy's contract goes up only about 0.3% of the team's total cap space, so it's nothing too crazy. But yeah, this team is going to have to make some notable changes if they think they can make a run. Now, who knows? Maybe they beat Minnesota if Steph doesn't get hurt. I don't think this team was coming close to beating OKC. So, yeah, they got to make some moves on the margin because it is now or never with Steph Curry. Orlando, I think you can go either way. I think they can make a massive change this offseason. I kind of want to put them in don't mess it up because, like, this is still a very good window with Paolo under the rookie contract. He's about to get the rookie max this offseason, which isn't going to kick in until the 2027 season, excuse me. So the Franz contract extension's kicking in next year. Same with the Jalen Suggs. So this team is going to be very expensive very soon. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to dump KCP, Jonathan Isaac, Cole Anthony this offseason. Maybe Wendell Carter Jr. I think can go either way. I doubt they end up trading for like a LaMelo with Trae Young or John Morant. Chicago, oh boy. I'm putting them in don't mess it up. Enter a rebuild. Do not be aggressive. Do not try to be the 8 seed next year and lose in round number 1. You have exciting pieces in Matas Buzelis. I don't know about Josh Giddey. And I think they should trade away Kobe White. I like Giddey on a 3-year extension. He can help be initiator for the young guys. See if you can still get a first for Lonzo Ball, maybe a late first. I don't mind Trey Jones as a backup point guard. I would bring him back. I would trade Io or Kobe White, maybe both as well. You have some bad contracts right now, but hey, you're going to have a lot more cap space in 2027, basically. I mean, yeah, the only guys under contract in 2027, Patrick Williams at 18, Lonzo has a $10 million team option, Jalen Smith at 9, and then your Buzelis and Phillips on rookie deals. You're going to have a ton of cap space in 27. I wouldn't be aggressive. Atlanta, I think it can also go either way. But honestly, I think they should stay the course. Yeah, I think Atlanta's on a good track right now. I think they're going to be a lot better next year as they're going to have more health on their side, hopefully. Jalen Johnson's going to be back fully healthy for the season starting. You have 2 first-round picks. You have some additional draft capital later on, at least that one Bucks-Pelicans pick from the DeJounte Murray trade. Daniels took a step this year, one most improved. Zachary Richardson looks impressive as a rookie. Trae Young is still one of the best initiators and offensive engines in this league. I think they're in a good spot right now. Sacramento. Ooh, boy. I think they have to realize, oh, man. I think it can go either way this offseason for them, actually. Like, they can run most of this team back and be competitive next year, for sure. And maybe hit a move like a veteran free agent or something like that. They don't own their first-round pick. But I think I could also see this team saying, you know what? We're not going to be a competitive team next year with so many other teams in the West getting better. It's a gauntlet out there. Let's enter into a rebuild. I think it can go either way with them. Miami, probably either way as well. I think they're basically the Sacramento Kings of the Eastern Conference. They're basically a team that is very leveraged into 1 or 2 players right now, and it's Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero, who's probably going to get extended by Miami this offseason. They like to do these extensions 2 years prior, and that's basically where they're at on Hero, who has 2 years left on the deal. So does Wiggins. Rozier has basically 1 year left on the deal. Duncan Robinson can get waived, but they have to still take $10 million of a cap hit this offseason. Kyle Anderson has 1 year left on the deal, so I think it can go either way. They could do a soft retool this offseason. Phoenix, they're probably, it's not now or never. I think they're in the don't mess it up. Like, it's not now. This team is not competing right now, but they can't mess up this Kevin Durant trade. You cannot buy out Bradley Beal this offseason. If you're not going to trade Devin Booker, you need to set yourself up for the best possible position, not in 2026, because you're not really going to do well next year, but in 2027 and onwards to help build a title team back around Devin Booker, because it looks so good in 2021 and 2022, and how much that has kind of fallen since. The Lakers, I guess, oh man, it's like, can I put them in 2 things? I think it could go either way. Like, they could be a team that just needs to stay the course, add a rim protecting center around Luka Doncic, and you're going to be okay. But it's also now or never around LeBron James. So maybe don't mess it up. I think it's a little bit more fair for the Lakers, because if you make a short-sighted move to try to get LeBron a ring next year, but it handicaps your future, oh boy, I would not like that, because I don't think this team, with LeBron making $50 million, is going to be competing for a title next year unless something falls in their lap like a Luka Doncic trade. Brooklyn, stay the course. Don't be aggressive unless it's for Giannis. But I don't know, like, unless, yeah, you're trading all your draft capital and Cam Thomas and Noah Clowney for Giannis, sure. But I think this team needs to just stay the course of the rebuild, get upside in the draft, and honestly think about trading Cam Johnson and Nick Claxton for additional draft capital or young pieces. I think for Cleveland, It's not now or never. I think it can go either way. They could run most of this team back. They're also going to be a second apron team this offseason, so I could see them making a Darius Garland or Jared Allen trade. The Allen contract goes up a little bit over the next few years. $12 million. It will go up by 2029. The mobile extension is about to kick in. He just won DPOY, so it's going to be even more expensive. I think there's a chance they trade Darius Garland or Jared Allen this offseason for sure. They could run it back and be the 1 seed again next year, though, if they're willing to pay the luxury tax, or excuse me, the second apron penalties. Boston, I'm probably going to put it in don't mess it up, because they're going to trade Drew. They're going to trade KP. They're going to maybe trade Sam Hauser. I don't think they're going to trade Derek White or Jaylen Brown. But when you're trading away these guys, just don't mess up your future. Continue to build the most optimal roster financially and talent-wise around Jason Tatum when he comes back. San Antonio, stay the course. Actually, no, I mean, I want to put them in stay the course, but I think they're more so like Houston. It could go either way. They could go all in on a Giannis or a Wemby or Kevin Durant, and I could be okay with that because they're building around Victor Wembanyama, who is ready to win right now, or you're going to be just fine if you don't, and you could be a top 4 seed in the West next year. Toronto, I don't know. I feel like they're just a team that's ready to trot out this roster that's financially ready to win now, but I don't know if it will be. So I think it can go either way for them this offseason. I just don't think that much is needed for them. Utah, stay the course. Trade Sexton, Jordan Clarkson, John Collins if you can. Test the Lowry market. But yeah, you're really basically just trying to stay the course with this rebuild. And for the Pelicans, I think it can go either way as well. You could trade Zion and do like a major retool and a reshuffle of this roster. Or you can bring back majority, like everybody, and you could probably be a top 6 seed in the West if things go your well. You hit on your draft pick, you add another center or two, and you can be just fine. So that is going to be it. I think the teams that have the most pressure this offseason, the Bucks, but it's kind of TBD on Giannis. I think the Nuggets, because you don't want Jokic to get impatient. They got some financial restrictions. In the Warriors, I don't think that much pressure is on the Suns because I don't think they're expected to win in 2026, but you can't mess up the KD trade. You can't mess up the window of Kawhi and Harden. I think it's going to be a pivotal offseason for the Grizzlies or for their big three. The Knicks don't do anything too crazy this offseason, in my opinion. Minnesota, if you're going to go out and get Kevin Durant, do not screw up your future. Chicago, don't add. Rebuild, please. LA, do not do something to try to win 6 more games next year, but still lose in round 1 or round 2, and you're kind of screwed in the post-LeBron era. And then for Boston, it's like optimizing the Drew and Kristaps trades to the best of their ability. We have 9 teams here and could go either way. Sixers, Rockets, Spurs, Magic, Kings, Heat, Cavs, Raptors, Pelicans. Stay the course. We have some good teams, some rebuilding teams. Mavericks, Wizards, Pacers, Hornets, Pistons, Blazers, Hawks, Nets, and Jazz, and then not much is needed is the Oklahoma City Thunder, because basically everybody's under contract going into next year's season, which is incredible. That is going to be for me. I hope you guys did enjoy this episode of the Just Ballin' podcast. If you did, I would appreciate you dropping a thumbs up on YouTube. Let me know what you guys think down below in the YouTube comments, and if you're listening on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, really appreciate a rating and review over there to help the podcast audio feed grow, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.